Well, this one is terribly late, and trust me, the rest is only gonna get later. It's the it's the return of Ducktales. Woo! After a very long break, longer than anyone else can remember, Ducktales is back. Actually, with more episodes coming out every day, so it's pretty impossible to review them right now. And unfortunately, the rest of the views are only gonna be later. But this is season 2 of DuckTales, episode 8. We're introduced to the new incarnation of a different character in this universe, so to speak. Do anyone remember Dijon from the movie of, the previous DuckTales? Well, this time in this movie, a strange man called Jin appears. He seems to actually be based upon Dijon, the from the previous one, except this one is a very large, hammering, adventurous guy looking for apparently a lamp that, Scrooge is supposed to have. And yes, he did have it, but because of Louis' idiocy, let's just face it, Louis is pretty idiotic this season. But then again, he has been hyped up to be pretty greedy. So Lavavia is in a yard sale as and since Scrooge is a little bit afraid of how Dijon or Jin really is, he and Webby creates a fake tale going in Ethaquack, where we actually see Celine, the moon spirit, again after a very long time. And while the kids, the triplets, try to find out where Louis sold the jab, it turns out that Louis himself didn't control the yard sale. Duckworth did, and he is on his vacation apparently, despite technically being dead. Who apparently sold it off to a kid who needed syrup. Yeah, and that kid was none other than Doofus Drake, and let me say, he's even more disgusting and creepy than everything else. So he sold it off somewhere else, and in the end, it turns out that the true end of this very long tale is actually in none other than Mama Beagle. While Jin have the fake adventure, including on where they're going, they have headed back to Duckwork at the end of the adventure once Louis told where it is. It's only there he finds out that the McDuck family had lied to him. But he surprisingly takes it well because he was narrating a story. He wants the lamp back, and Mama Beagle thinks it actually is a, a a real genie. And actually, here's a callback to another episode of the Ducktales. Woohoo! Do you all remember the opening of Ducktales from the previous series? Who am I kidding? Everyone does. At least everyone who has seen the series. There's a famous scene there where Scrooge and Glomgold are climbing up in order to grab the magic lamp of that episode. Actually, there was almost shot for shot replicated here as Scrooge and Ma Beagle climbed up some tires to grab one. Only this time Ma Beagle, the evil villain, took it. And of course she robs the lamp and wishes immediately for better sons. Yeah, an abusive mother to the very end. Because it turns out that Jin wasn't after the lamp because of a genie, because there is no genie in the lamp. It's a family heirloom. Turns out Jin is actually another word for genie. Turns out that he is a descendant from a real-life genie, and the lamp was that genie's, prison or home. Long ago, and this an ancestor, a woman, robbed the lamp, saw the genie, and she fell in love with him. So she only wished for one single wish, for him to be free. And they fell in love. And so, the legacy of Jin has been formed, so to speak. It is a pretty funny episode. That's basically it of it all. And so this episode does have some cameos of previous characters, and even a very nice take on the running around to find out the clue of it all. But Louis has really shown to be very incompetent this season. I mean, his greed and his what's not to do next is just so out of the line here, but it really works, and so I like it more and more. And also Gladstone appeared in this one too, because of a note of a dollar that ended up in his wallet. So yeah, I give this episode a 7 out of 10, and it was good for some comedy, and better than I thought it would be, and even some callbacks to the previous episodes and from my past before. But you can give me your thoughts if you have any.